Hi, Donna. You're on mute. Go to the bottom left.
I'm using the computer today, so.
See that?
Yeah, now it works better.
How are you?
Good. How are things going?
Okay.
Yeah. I have a styling booked on November 4th.
Yay!
And Kristen and I are doing a thing next Thursday at our pizzeria.
Yeah, I'm on not the 29th?
We're doing the 29th up in Pine Brook, but we're doing one locally here next Thursday.
Very nice. Good. So
I'm inviting a bunch of people.
Yay! So is Pine Brook further away from you?
Yeah.
So why Pine Brook?
I think she did it so that there would be a central location for everybody.
Okay.
So I know people in like Caldwell and that kind of area, so I can ask them to go there versus the people that are real close to us here.
Got it.
So we'll see what happens.
Okay. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Shaking. Yay.
Yep.
Good. I'm writing to one person just to see if she'll come on.
Okay. How many people do we have tonight?
I don't know. I'm hoping a lot, but we'll see. I see Laura.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm glad you're on.
Yeah, I'm short. I gotta do something about that.
All right. What'd you say? You're short?
I'm short.
It's okay. I look like I'm sitting in the dark too.
Laura, can we get you to sit on a telephone book?
That's yes. I could try.
Remember we used to get people to sit on telephone books?
Yes. I'm gonna go look for one. I'll be right back.
Hi, Regina. I see you, Regina. How are you? Does she see us? Regina, in the bottom left, you can unmute yourself. Bottom left-hand corner is a little like microphone, and you can hit mute or unmute. Do you see the little mute button, Regina?
Maybe she has her audio off too.
Nah, she's trying. In the bottom left, it says mute. There's a little microphone, and you can unmute yourself. I'm going to see if I can send to Mary Grace.
See it. Okay, now I.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm going to text Mary Grace. Just giving her that Zoom information just to make sure. And we've got Paula. Welcome, Paula. How are you? Okay, I'm plugging in my phone. It says low battery. It's on. Okay. Hi. How is everybody's week? Anybody have any good stylings? We heard from Donna. Donna, you want to tell us your good news?
I have a showing on November 4th.
Congratulations, and tell us about your two sip-and styles.
Yeah, Kristen Salinas and I are doing two sip-and styles. We're doing one next Thursday at a pizzeria near us, and we're doing the other one on October 29th in Pine Brook.
Great.
That's really good. So you have some stuff moving and shaking on your calendar, right?
Yep.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it. And Laura, how's your stuff going? You had a big week last week.
Yes, it went well. A starter show and two other fashion directors had guests, and we're going back next Wednesday, and they're filling up their calendars. we're all filling up our calendars.
That's great. That's really great. So you have some new recruits with you.
Yes, tugging along.
Good. And Regina, how's it going?
It's going great. I had a personal appointment today with a lawyer. So that was interesting and, had a sale. So it was great.
Good. Very nice. And you're getting out there and really networking a lot, right? You're meeting.
Yeah, I have a vendor show coming up on the 23rd and a Halloween party on the 30th. So mystery hostess, I'm calling it.
That's
So
great.
yeah, so it's good.
That's really nice. That's great. And Paula, you just disappeared. You were there. And then I see a number 732. I'm not sure who that is. You're on mute. Who's that?
Hey, Jack, it's me, Wendy.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thank you.
How's it
How are
going?
you? It's going good, thank you.
What are you up to these days?
Started a new full-time job and trying to get back to the business as well.
I'm so excited to hear that. What are you doing for your full-time job?
I'm working on a logistics kind of like supply chain company
That's
in the
really
logistics department, traffic and logistics department for a supply chain company.
very
It's
nice.
here in Jersey, in Edison.
Oh, very nice. Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you. How's
Good.
everything with you?
Good. I love all of your Instagram pictures. Everyone you post is always so beautiful.
Thank you, thank
You probably you should make 1 million sales on Instagram.
Oh, what?
You should definitely be an Instagram blogger.
You know what? It's funny you mentioned that because today, I don't know what was it that I saw today, and I was like, oh, it was kind of video, like from a blog. I'm like, I should look into that. I probably will.
You're very good at that.
I'm going to try it. Maybe you can help me.
Definitely. Well, so it has definitely been a good week. I mean, I know October for us has traditionally been a month of great business. And I think Mary Grace is joining us, and she was our special guest for tonight. So traditionally, October is, hi, Mary Grace, how are you? I don't know I think you can hear us. You might be on mute. Traditionally, October is a month that has been a very solid, strong month. It is one of our times that we see the most activity, and it's really great for us to go out and add to our calendar and get the most bookings. It is wonderful because it's right before people get super busy with the holidays, and we really see that adding to our calendar can be easiest as we're getting back to school and meeting with people and meeting with teachers, and our kids are getting back involved in sports. So traditionally, as we're getting back into the year and we're getting our calendars full again, it really has been one of those times that we start to see a lot of movement on our calendar. We do booking sprees and blitzes to build that calendar up for the holidays. And so October has been one of those months that has always been off the charts. So I'm loving seeing how much activity you guys are doing. And I like to see that you guys have been really involved. For our team, I know we have been working for years and trying to really build up the momentum and build our team. And one of the reasons, and I think that's Mary Grace, I just want to make sure that's you. Mary Grace, are you on the phone with us? Are you on the call? I think that's her number. I'm just double checking. One of the things that I wanted to say is we have been really trying to build our team. Recruiting is something that we want to do, that we've been working hard at doing in building the momentum in our team and trying to build and rebuild and bring in success into our team. It's really been important because I want you guys to see that success, and I want you to partner with and be with others that are part of that team. So I have been reaching out a lot to Mary Grace and working with her. And that's why we had just a couple of months ago, before we went to convention, we had her fly in, and she was gracious enough to come here and do a sip and style with us. And anybody who came and took advantage of that got to add bookings to their calendar. It is really helpful when we work together and we see others doing well. And it's really helpful when we're part of that team, because we feed off of each other and we work together and we can learn from each other. And so one of the things that I've been working with Mary Grace is to say to her, you know, can we as a team utilize her and her team to really build together? And she has been great and gracious and grateful to that. So we as a team are partnering with Mary Grace's team, and we're sort of coming in under her organization. And she has been really just, thank you, Mary Grace, if you're there. And I don't think she is. I don't know. I don't think she's there yet, but we're going to wait for her to get on because she's supposed to be on tonight any minute. But she's going to come on to help us to really be part of her team. So she was going to come join our call tonight, and maybe she is, and I can't see her. So she's going to come on and help us to train and be part of a lot of her Zoom calls, and so that we can utilize what she does on Facebook and learn from her other managers. And if you guys will really take part of that, you guys are going to be able to grow into bigger leadership positions. And if you're a fashion director and you want to grow to branch, you're going to be looking at other branches and being able to go to that. If you're an area and you need to be strengthened being an area, you're going to want to look to what those other areas are doing. So I want to bring you to this other group so that you can see what other teams have been doing and are doing now, so that we can strengthen our own group. So with that, without further ado, if Mary Grace is on this call, I want to turn it over to her and say welcome and thank you. I think she's here. I just think she has to unmute herself. I'm going to unmute. Mary, are you here? I see you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to just make sure she's on this call. Hold on one second. I'm sorry for the technical difficulty. Anybody have any questions already? No, I think it's really a positive thing. As you guys know, Mary Grace Lewandowski has the #1 organization in our Park Lane world, and her team is thriving. They're doing amazing. And I would love for our team to share in that success. I would love for you to learn from her and from her teammates and leaders, and to share in that success as well. And as she uses the terminology, iron sharpens iron. And when we come together as one force and we can learn from each other, when you have people who really want to work this business and to see success, we're going to do an even better job. So I can tell you that especially the people who are on this call tonight that really want their Park Lane business to go forward and to grow and to be part of ultimately that great success, this is going to be such an amazing time for us to go forward. So I know she's on. I see her. Are you there, Mary? She's there.
She's muted though.
There you go.
Got me? Hi! I was on the phone and I could hear you, but I couldn't see you.
There you are.
So you finish.
Welcome.
Hi! Finish up, finish up.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight. No, I think I did an introduction, and we're really excited to have you. And we're excited to become part of your team and to have your leadership and to guide us to do and be even stronger and bigger and better than we are.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so honored. I'm so honored that you all chose our group, even if you didn't all choose it. But we are going to have so much fun. And truly, you guys, it's not, obviously, it's not me. It's the organization that we have built, and it's the community of leaders that's on this group, of which you guys will be one of, part of them now. And it's just, it's kind of like there's so many shortcuts now. Like we've been working this for 8 years, and we figured out what works, what doesn't work. Not always. We're still figuring out some of that. But we have like shortcuts for you. So if you bring new people into the business, they can link into our new training immediately. It's like a group training. It's like little like steps that we have. If there's like a video that someone asks you, like, how do I get more bookings? And you can steal one of our videos and, just, snatch one of them and send it to them and be able to get, just like spend more time on like income generating activity, because all of the rest we kind of have a group that's taken care of. And I just give Jackie so much credit, because as a leader, one of the things you have to do sometimes is be strong enough to ask for help, or be strong enough to have humility, where you're like, I maybe don't have all the answers. And for whatever reason, probably because I have trouble even getting on this call, that's really easy for me. It's really easy for me to say, I don't have all the answers, and have people work in their strengths. And we are so excited to learn from you too, to learn from you. So some of the things that we have in place already is, and I'll actually send you like a document, but like every single Tuesday, we have a call where the people that are direct to me speak. So that'll be like Jackie. Totally have a call where those that are direct, like we share ideas, share how we're going to incorporate whatever the specials of the month are, or whatever Perkleen is promoting right then, or whatever we as an organization are promoting right then. We're able to like kind of all be on the same page. I do a Sunday call. Again, I will send you guys the scripts, and up to you whether or not you participate. But I do a two Sunday nights a month with division leaders that want more. And then I do one Sunday night a month with senior divisions who want more. So I try to kind of touch all of those in our organization. And I think what we really have a gift for teaching that I truly believe in, and I don't know that Perkleen as a company is with us there yet, I believe in leadership. I believe in teaching the skills of leadership and how to have a group of people that want to develop their desires and their joys and bring them where they need to be or where they want to go. And I think that's probably what our organization is super powerful in. So that, and we have the time and we have the resources, like I'll be putting you guys all to work if you want to be, resources so that we can all learn from each other and build each other up. So you're going to be part of our organization, but you're not, can I tell them this, Jackie? Like, it's like your numbers are not going to necessarily immediately come to me. Like your numbers aren't going to be in my numbers. But one thing that I do is every single week I send out recognition. And I think that is super important because you're such high achievers that you need to see where the other high achievers are. And like we do it per level. We'll do it like top 10 overall. And then top 10 fashion directors, top 10 branches, top 10 areas, not just individual, but group. And I think that's where you're going to get like really get a lot of benefit. Like, where are we sitting with all this? Like this is a bigger organization now. So I know I was number one in the Brigante organization, but where am I in the bigger picture and what can I shoot for? So I am definitely going to be like feeding your numbers into that and being able to give you guys like where you're sitting, because you're up there, and I think that's going to make you feel really powerful and really good and give you something to reach for. Because I'm like that. I mean, I always hated that Park Lane didn't share numbers, because I'm like, am I number one by a lot, or am I number one by a little? You know, like, what's going on here? So I think as an organization, that is your go-getters. And I'm generalizing here, but I'm from the East Coast too. And I just think we're more like that, don't you? We're tell me where I need to be and I'm going to get there. You know? So I think those numbers are really impactful and helpful to you. And as are the classes that we run every week and every month, which I'm going to ask you to be part of. What else, Jackie? Now you're okay.
Maybe about like the lunch and learns that you have, or any of those great other opportunities we have for learning.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of you are already in at least one of our Facebook pages, but we'll feed you into all of our Facebook pages. I have one for divisions. I have one for senior divisions. I have one for sales, vice presidents, because there's different needs at all those different levels. There's different things offered of you. One of the things that I think is the most important is that you're hanging out with and learning from your peers and people that are at your same level. There's something I'm going to say that sounds kind of dramatic, but I study leadership a lot. And the truth of the matter is that as leaders, you're either going to be an asset or a liability. And all of us want to be an asset to our team. All of us want to be assets. We want to be growing. We want to be doing great things. So I think by creating these different groups that I work with in different ways, or ask you to share in different ways. So for example, I'm pulling Tony Ann out. Is she on here? Can you tell from the calls? She is a personal producer. Jackie is a personal producer. Other things too. But obviously on the world stage, they're personal sellers. So we can only get better when we're able to teach on those things too. So the fact that you could teach on those things, or what I love to do is pull out one of you and say, okay, Paula, what do you wish that you were better at? What is your area that you really wish that you could get some training on? I love to choose that individual to train in that arena, because they have to go study. They have to go interview other people, and then they have to present it. And I think that has helped all of us be so much stronger in other areas. And that's kind of where I bring my teacher background into it, along with my business background. And I truly believe that this is the place, this is the space that our organization holds in Park Lane, is the sisterhood, the learning from each other, the wanting from, not from each other, the sharing, the whole go-giver thing. If you haven't heard that yet, you're going to hear that from me. Just a whole bunch of stuff. And I have honored and admired your group from afar for so long that I am so excited. We're all so excited to be one with you guys, and for us to learn from you too. So super excited. It can only be good. We can only grow bigger. So I think it's awesome. I'm very honored.
The feeling is mutual. No, we are too. So thank you very much. We're excited, and I think this is a great season to get started, because I think we have a lot of good stuff going on. So thank you.
Huge. So does anybody want to pick my brain just during this time? How long do you have on this call?
We've got plenty of time.
Oh, okay. Sometimes they're 30 minutes, sometimes they're an hour, but here I am working with a bunch of talented people for a super long time. Tell me your issues, tell me your questions, tell me your obstacles. Just pick my brain, and that's where we'll start. I'll wait you out.
Don't be shy, guys. If anybody has any questions.
Don't be, because I'll wait you out until you come up with one. part of what I do. Y'all have questions. If you're having any kind of obstacles or anything in the business, if you're having any doubts, if you're having any, there's a question that you want to ask. What is that question? Or there's something that you want to express. What is it?
I'll start. This is Gina Horton in Florida, Orlando.
Hi, Gina.
Hi. So I'm in an area where people do a lot of networking.
Okay.
And it's tough to get in their homes. They want to do office parties. They want to do networking parties. What suggestions do you have for booking those home parties going forward?
Okay, so you mean that they are willing to have events or parties of sorts, but they want to have them as a networking event or in their office?
Yes.
You don't want to do it in their home?
Right.
Okay. Well, is there a reason why you feel so strongly about that? I mean, are you generating business and having success from the networking and the office parties?
Somewhat success, but sometimes you don't really get to know people that well, I think. Especially their guests, because they come into a restaurant and they sit down and they don't move around. And if it's in a home, you know, they go in the kitchen, they get something, they move around, they talk, they chat, but they just seem like little stationary pillars when they get into a restaurant setting.
Okay, well, that was a really good answer. You gave me more information on what you were looking for, and I will agree with you. I will first of all agree that that is a huge venue right now that people want. Okay, here's my feeling. And you guys, I don't just like it, well, I do get feelings about stuff, but I also study. I do focus groups, I ask questions. If there is an area that we're struggling with, I will get with people in that area that can help answer me my questions. For example, like there's college age people and they're saying we can't break into the college age people. I will grab a couple people's daughters or whatever, and I'll say, I'll give you $100 in free jewelry to spend an hour with me. And I'll say, what is it you love to do? What is it that you guys are spending your time on? What is the obstacle to why you wouldn't want an arena where you could get free jewelry? And it's absolutely amazing the stuff we come up with together. So it's kind of like ask for what you want, okay? So if I was in, doing the whole restaurant thing, which I do a lot of that, I'll say, you know what? I would really love to get you to know you better. And the best way to do that is in like a home venue. So are you real hesitant to have anything in your home, even like a few people? Because we could have it in my home. But I think that setting would allow me to get to know you better, get to know like what you really love. Like we seriously want your opinion on the jewelry. And this is feeling a little stilted to me. So what would be the best idea? Like, could I go to your home or your home? Would you want to come into my home? And it's almost like ask for what you want. Okay? It's going to happen if you are seriously asking for what you want and going in that direction. It's going to happen. Will you try it?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Because a lot of times people want to tell me like why that's not going to happen, but it's like if you ask for what you want, you will be surprised. You will be surprised how often, it works for you, that you can get what you want. And your reasons are so all about what I'm about, relationships, wanting to get to know people better. But I would start with your home.
Okay.
And then see where that goes. And I don't know your circumstances. A lot of times people will have objections to, well, I can't do it in my own home or whatever. But there is definitely like a way to get outside of what you're doing and get inside of what you want. And it might even be like, okay, do you want to bless somebody? Tell me somebody that you know that really has a hard time even leaving their house. There's issues with their kids, older parents, their husband travels a lot. I want to bless them. I want to bring them a party. I want to bring the, like one of the things you'll have fun looking at is we have this really fun, Karen Slaymaker did it. She calls it the, oh gosh, I'm not going to remember now, but it's like the traveling Bling Booze, I think, or something like that. And she brings like the boxes of wine, and they're all decorated and everything. But she's like, "Who wants my traveling wine bar?" You know, and she takes the wine bar to a house, you know. And I one of my favorites, Jackie knows about this, but I just did this, and you're going to be all added to my Facebook pages, so you're going to see the pictures now. But when we were going to Greece, I said, okay, I got to somehow work or, you know, develop a business while I'm in Greece. So I was quite proud of myself. I came up with this idea where we took 7 different pictures of jewelry in containers. And we did day 1, day 2, day 3, all the way to day 7. And we programmed it so that 1 picture a day would go up on my VIP group. And they were just guessing how much jewelry was in that container. And when I said, when I get home, I'll go through them all, you know. So when I got home, you guys, I was just amazed because it was 83 people a day, at least, that took part in this whole thing about guessing how many pieces of jewelry were in there. So then I had the answers, and then I came back and I said, we had 5 winners this day. You know, there were 47 pieces of jewelry. Here are our winners, and I like put their names and what they had won, and they knew that going in is I put that they won a free happy hour and sip and shop with me. So just today, I'm still cleaning up some of it. I went in and I go, okay, here's your choices. Do you want to have it at my house? Do you want me to bring the food and drink to you, or do you want to have it in a restaurant near your house? And I'm setting up like 17 shows because they won a sip and shop, you know? So I'm paying for the appetizers. Who cares, you know, or whatever, but it's getting me into those different homes. So that's a way that you can get what you're asking for, you know, and when you make it about other people, it makes it so much easier. So that's what I've done in the past. Who's somebody you really want to bless? You know, I want to give somebody $500 worth of free jewelry. Who do you want to really bless? Tell me someone really wonderful that's done something great for you. And they'll like message me these different ideas, and I'll pick the people. And then I'll say, we want to bless you. So I want to bring snacks and drink. We can either go to your house, we can go to a restaurant, you can come to mine, but all of your friends want you to be the hostess to get all the free jewelry. And then, of course, I'll reach out to the friends and say she was the winner. Who are you going to bring? And everybody feels like they're doing it for a different reason than to have a jewelry party for you. You know, so those are the different ways that you can like get into people's homes and bless them. That's kind of what you want to be doing.
Great. I love that idea. I love that.
Thank you. We have more. Believe me, if you get on our calls, we could all just go to town on that one for a really long time. And there's something that I hugely believe in. It actually has a name. It's called the third mind. And what happens is like, you might have an idea. I have an idea. Together, we start to expound on the idea. And the idea, the third mind, comes up with an idea that we never would have come up with on our own. And that's huge. That is what happens in our organization a lot, of which you're part of. So yeah, bring it, because we'll have a lot of answers and things that we can try. Other questions? Thank you for being brave enough to ask a question. I look for this stuff. So unless you have 30 shows on your calendar and 10 recruits, you already earned Rome and you're ready for the next promotion, then you're allowed to have no questions. Otherwise, you have questions. You have questions, you have doubts, you have feelings. Let's share them.
Hi, Mary Grace. This is Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. I'm glad that we had the chance to talk to you. I see you on Facebook, and I kind of follow you, and I love everything that you do. So I have a quick question. I've been a little slow, a lot of slow in the business, and I want to go back. And I wanted to know, or if you could give me an advice of what's kind of like a simple way of get in touch again with either previous hostesses or new hostesses, or what's a simple way to do it?
Okay.
Because I kind of feel guilty. I'm going to be completely honest to you. Kind of feel like guilty. I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to call in? I haven't heard from them in a while, blah, blah, blah. You know,
Okay.
that kind of mentality.
I
Which
get
I don't
it.
want to have.
And I have a couple ideas. Okay. First one,
Okay.
a couple things. First of all, this blessing that Jackie and I have come up with together of our teams merging,
Mm-hmm.
really going to have nothing to do with me. It's going to have to do with the fact that whenever you have a new start, you have a new start. So you guys have like this new start, you know, like just, okay, here I go. This is my new start. And Wendy, you perfectly like expressed that just now. And people love when you use those words. So when you say, I'm restarting my business, it works. I'm restarting my business. I thought of you. I have a goal, you know, to have 6 shows on my calendar, and you are one of the people that I want to give away $500 worth of free jewelry to. Or whatever you're feeling, when you put that out there, Wendy, people will respond to that. Okay? So when you go, I'm going to tell you the truth. I have not been doing my job, and I feel really guilty about that. And I want to restart, and I want to really, really, really do it. And I've missed you, and I want you to be one of the people that I'm going to bless with all this free jewelry. Or I always think a really good thing to do is wear out your own carpet. So whenever I look at my calendar and I think, Mary Grace, what were you doing? How the heck did you let this get where you don't have this many shows? One of the first things I'll do is have my own show. And I will invite people like, you know, my hostesses and say, I miss you. You have been so gracious as to have hosted me in your home so many times. I would love to return the favor. I'm doing muffins and mimosas on this date. I'm doing what and what on this date. I would absolutely love if you could come and bring a few friends so I can spoil you for a change. Now, that is an awesome idea to do when you're restarting. And don't do it as an open house because those are discouraging. Do it as a party where you're inviting a certain amount of hostesses and you're keeping track. So I will do that still. I'll go once a month. I have a show at my own house and 3 to 4 hostesses come to my house and they bring 3 to 4 people. And I'm like, and I follow up with them. I'm like, are you still looking good for that date? Because there's someone else who wants it if you don't. And they know it's almost like, I mean, for lack of a better word, an honor, you know, because they kind of want to see where the jewelry lady lives now and is your whole house full of jewelry or whatever. So, and if it's not, you don't want to do it in your own house, you could do it, you know, in a restaurant or whatever, but it's almost like a appreciation, okay? I'm still going, so you're going to pick the ones that you like. The other one I absolutely love is hostess appreciation. So one of the benefits that you have, how long have you been kind of inactive, Wendy?
Almost 6 months.
Okay, here's the thing that we're up against. Those of us who don't go for newness all the time, the people that we keep asking are sick of us. You have people now that haven't heard from you in 6 months and they're ready for new jewelry. So that's joyful. That's a Benny, okay? They don't know why they haven't heard from you, you know? So you could be like, oh my gosh, I've been so busy. I've been so remiss. I so have owed you a call. I really miss you. I am so excited to show you the new stuff. This is your 6-month anniversary of the last time you had a showing. So I'm giving you the first choice. Okay? So we do read shows a lot. We'll be like, this is your 1-year anniversary. You know, you had a show last year at this time. Okay? As you're in it longer, I know it's fun. If you're in it as long as like Jackie or me or whatever, like something that I do sometimes, I just told someone that today, I will call, I'm like, I want to call together my first 5 hostesses. My first 5 hostesses from 8 years ago. And I want to show you where we've come because of you. You know, so whenever you can do something like that, like instead of thinking, I got to get my business going again, I'm embarrassed, I've been a terrible jewelry lady, and they don't know that. You know, so instead, like go in there like it's an honor and you miss them, which is true, right? I mean, I really miss them. So It's easy for me to say that, you know, it's about relationships. So it's like, I haven't seen you in so long. We got to get together. Last one.
Mhm.
Well, there's more, but it would be whenever I think about somebody and I'm like, oh my gosh, she has such a great group. And somehow, you know, like in our job, like lots of times we're still in that circle somehow. You know, like if you took the time, you could trace every single show back to where that came from. And every once in a while, a circle ends. And a lot of times it's because either the person canceled that came from that circle and you never got them back on, or it can be because you recruited somebody and they kind of took that line of business or whatever, and then they didn't do it, and now that line of business has been gone. Those are some of my favorite people to go back to because we've kind of lost touch. So those are perfect people to go back to and say, we lost touch. I owe you an apology. I do not know how this much time went by, but I would so love to see you again. You know, how's your schedule looking for this fall? And one of the things that's a huge benefit to us, you guys, right now, is we really right now need to be booking for January. Because of we call it the Christmas coma, because people like go into a coma over the holidays and then they get up off the couch and say time to go back to work, and there's like no work to go back to. Or January has a 50% cancellation rate, and then we're like, shoot, how did this happen? So one of the very best times to book January is in like October, November. And one of the hugest gifts that you have is you can say to people, I know if you're like us, you're feeling overwhelmed at this time of year, but how about next year? It's only 2 months away. And when you're doing that like April for June, it sounds so different than when you're doing it November for January. So when you say like, let's get you on for the new year, historically, Park Lane gives away like an extra $250 in January. I always say that. Historically, you know, honestly, if they don't, I do. Because they're going to do 150 in HRCs if they do their pass. And what's the big deal of adding an extra 100 if I have to in order to fill out my whole January, right? Okay,
Right.
take off my new year. So that's something that's going to make you feel really powerful too, is booking for next year. So you want some for this year, some for next, but then you also start to kind of back them up. So they go, yeah. And you go, well, I have 2 dates in November. Do you want to try it and get in on the Christmas rush? You know, so it's all about kind of playing a little hard to get, being a little bit laid back, you know, but it's all about stuff like that. And then the last thing I want to say to you, I think I already said that 10 times, but are you guys all pretty much in the same geographical area or around the same geographical area in some regard?
I am in Jersey. Yeah, we are in Jersey. Well, I am with most.
We have a couple of Floridians.
Okay. Wherever you are, this is what I want you to do, okay? When I first got appointed by Park Lane, I was the only one. My old company was really, really mad at me. So they were suing me for millions, and nobody was going to come near me. So a lot of people think, oh, they were hiring another company to just bring all their people. No, that's not what happened at all. Okay? So what I thought is, okay, Mary Grace, Park Lane hired you to grow their brand and market their product. How are you going to do that? So if you're alone, if you're in the Florida area, regardless of what your title is, you have to act as if. And nobody else really knows if you're a fashion director, what that means, if you're an executive company VP, what that means. So you want to think, it's my job to grow this brand in this area. How am I going to do that? Now, some of it is by having shows, but it can't be with us having the attitude that someone has to have shows for us, because it's not their job to grow our brand. It's our job to grow our brand. So one of the things that we felt was really impactful, and I know that I've been to New Jersey doing them with Jackie before, is events. So we would do events every single month. They might have 2 people, they might have 100 people. It didn't matter. We were doing our job, and we were going to do events. And we were growing the Park Lane brand a little bit at a time. We were just chipping away at it. And what began to happen is people started to totally associate Park Lane with classy, different, fun, not just the in-home show. We would get in-home
Right.
shows, you know, because you've been there. If you've ever been to any of my events, we would get the in-home shows because we'd say, oh my gosh, women empowering women, just a couple people at a time. It's so magical. We sell jewelry. Don't really love the big in-home shows because we feel like people are over them. But you have to try on your jewelry. If you don't try, are you really going to buy jewelry from the internet? And we look at these people and they're like, of course not. You know, I go, jewelry shows pretty in a book, pretty in real life, prettiest on a body. So you have to try on your jewelry. So if the whole in-home show is gone, that whole model, and people are saying no to it, but we're stylists and we're going to put jewelry on you, what are the answers? 2 to 3 people at a time if we have to. If you can have a huge one, we're all for it. But 2 to 3 people at a time, in a coffee bar, at a restaurant, at your home. And these are the words that we started to use at our events that would get the people that had so much fun at our events to start to have them in their show, in their homes or wherever, and to grow our brand a little bit at a time. So that's what you want to do. And it's also, when she said about the iron sharpening iron, when we would get together and we would start to come up with ideas, we would get so excited that we'd be having so much fun that then they would want to join our team because we were having so much fun, you know, and making so much money, and they wanted to be part of that. So that's seriously the movement that you want to start to create. And if you don't have a leader in your area that's helping you with that because there isn't one there or whatever, then you need to be that person. Because I can honestly tell you that I was one of the top 10 income earners in Party Light, but I could not say that every person in Party Light in my area was somehow associated with me, but I can say that here, and they are. So even if you're a fashion director, but you're the first one in your city, you are positioning yourself that everything that comes after this is going to be associated to you. This is how people get really rich. However, it's great to be the first, but it's hard to be the first. So you're going to have to get it out there. Sometimes you're going to have to invest. Sometimes you're going to have to say, that didn't work and that was dumb of me or whatever, but it's just one person at a time. And 8 years ago, you would just be taking my word for it. 8 years in, yeah, you're not thinking straight if you don't do it, because I've had the results and it works. It works. So the fact that we are still in a position where we can be the first ones in bringing Park Lane back to an area, do you know how what a blessing that is? And if we haven't been taking advantage of that we need to start now, because you guys see on social media, we have huge groups coming in now from other companies. If we don't do it, they're going to do it, and they don't have anything more to offer than we have to offer, right? I say that to people all the time too. I'm like, do I have a different hostess program than you? No. Do I have a different profit program than you? No. I might be taking advantage of it more, but do I have a different customer sale than you guys do? No. Did I have magic fairy dust in my kit? No. The only difference is how I went about it, what I was willing to do, how excited I was about it. And the biggest difference is now I can share all my shortcuts with you, and all you have to do is do them. You know, it's pretty magical. So I'm going to share a couple that we got from our call today, because I'm super excited about it. So one of our, Kim Lake, she's one of our divisions. This is so fun. I'm going to go just drop in on her. They're doing a designer purse bingo, a designer purse bingo. I'm like, what is that? She goes, oh my gosh. She goes, we've been preparing for it for a few months. So they have 10 designer purses. And she said, you wouldn't believe what we've been through. We've been watching articles, we've been getting discounts, we've been doing whatever it took, but we came up with 10 gorgeous designer purses. Can't you even just picture they're all on display? People come in, and these are going to be the bingo prizes. There's 10 games, and people are going to win designer purses. Okay? Now where Park Lane comes in, and of course, they're sponsoring it. It's their event or whatever. People are paying to come, and it's like covering their food and their drinks and all of that good stuff. They're going to sell raffle. But then during that, whole fun of all of it. They're going to talk about Park Lane, and they're going to talk about the customer feel. They're going to give people a chance to buy. They're going to give people a chance to book shows, but then they're also going to have every once in a while like a little coin purse that's full of Park Lane jewelry or a gift card, or they're going to have something else, you know. But the point is, they got 100 people. It's sold out. They have people calling the venue just saying, "Can we get in?" And they have to turn them away, you know. So that's the kind of thing, like when you get your creative juices, that you're like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. You know? Like, you can just start working together and getting going, and it's just like creating this for Park Lane. It's really fun. We do blingos, we do bunkos, we do quarter auctions, we do U+2. Our most fun one we're doing next week is Witches Night Out. And everybody just comes dressed as witches, and they're basically trick-or-treating. But we're going to have all these different stations, you know, that they can go to. It's like they're trick-or-treating, but it's all Park Lane, you know. You can make up whatever you want to make up. We've had Diva Dash. That's a really fun one where people, like, we have all these prizes and everything. Everybody who comes brings, like, 2 things. Just stuff that they don't care about anymore. You know how, like, all of us have, like, lotion packs or re-gifts or whatever. Not used or gently used. Everybody who comes brings a couple things, and it's in the Diva Dash room. And then throughout the night, we ask them trivia questions, and the last one standing gets a dash. And they go to the Diva Dash room, and they pick up all this stuff. And the idea is, again, somehow during the night, we are selling Park Lane, and we are booking shows, but it's still that we're just creating this fun atmosphere for women, mostly, you know, that are running all around. So I hope this is kind of getting your head going, because this is like the time of year that we really want to be doing bunches of stuff like this, and just creating a frenzy with how much we have to offer. I was in the bank today because I'm my aunt's executor who passed away. I had to get some stuff notarized, and I just said, you know what? She was going, oh my gosh, it's been a heck of a day. I go, well, you know, I'm in the jewelry business. You know what? I should provide a service for you guys. I should have like a jewelry get together. I'll bring your lunch, and you guys can come in and shop. You can get some of your shopping done. I'll give you some great deals. And she goes, oh my God, that would be awesome. But do you see how different that sounds from, will you have a show? Will you do like, I want to do this.
Right.
You know, she goes, you just need to ask our manager. I go, I will. You know, it's like, it would be fun. It'd be a service. He's keeping you from going out to lunch. You can get right back to work. You're doing some of your shopping. I'll bring everything back wrapped. You know, so those are the creative things I want you guys to be thinking of, because you are only as limited as your brains are limiting you.
Got it. All right.
More information than you bargained for. Sorry.
No, I love it. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much for great ideas and the advices. And yeah, I will put them in practice. Thank you so much for your time.
That's the ticket. And that's what we do in our organization. I go, you can have all the ideas in the world, and you can be super, super stoked, but unless you take action, nothing's going anywhere. And it's like you have to just lean in, you know, and go forward. Take action on something. Make stuff happen. But don't just overthink it and think you have to make it all perfect, because you're not. The next one will be better than the first one.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Jackie, is the leader of your organization, what would you say is the biggest, like, I guess I'm going to say need for your organization?
I think bringing in new recruits and seeing us grow together. I think if we can grow and see people get new leadership and watch ourselves really see success, I think people are going to get excited and rejuvenated.
Yes. Are most of the people on this call, have they been around for a while?
We
Like
see
going,
some, well, half and half. I see some recruits on here, and I see some several years. So we have about half and half.
okay, but nobody that's like just brand new.
Nope, I have some brand new. I see Mary over here, Mom's iPad. Mary Cirilli,
Okay.
how are you?
Hey, Mary.
I'm
Hey,
unmuting you for a minute. Hi, Mary. How are you?
good. How are you?
Mary had her starter show with me, what, about 3 weeks ago?
I just closed another show tonight.
That's your second show, right?
Hey,
Yeah.
Mary, how are you feeling? How excited are you about that money? Isn't that pretty cool?
Good. Very excited.
Isn't it? My sister-in-law had her first party today, and it
Mary,
was
I wanted to first of all comment. May I interject for a moment? You're a former teacher. I am too.
yes, exactly.
Yes, and I know what you were saying. I can read what you were saying before about being a teacher and all that and speaking, but I love your comments about. I think that breaks the ice with a lot of people when you offer to even to bring the food, because I find that with a lot of people, they're overwhelmed because they do work. The people that I deal with work, and I think that's the biggest obstacle with booking shows, because I think a lot of women do work during the day, and it's like that block. So I think when you break the ice like that, I think that's a good way of approaching, and that does help. So I like that.
I agree, and I brought a lot of my, sales experience or a watch all around me.
Mm-hmm.
That's always so much part of it. Like, I'll buy you lunch, I'll take you to lunch, let me take you for a drink. You go into Target, they've got, is it Target now? They felt like they need to have Starbucks, they'll even deliver to their cart. I mean, just think about how the things that the lengths that people are going to please a customer, like that's where we need to go, in order to really do this thing. So the reason I asked if and Mary, I want you to keep your rose colored, whatever's going on with you right now. That's really super cool. Okay, because when we're new,
I know I'm on my iPad. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
yeah. But when we're brand new and the world is our oyster, we literally have 0 shows on our calendar when we first decide to sell Park Lane. Maybe our rep said, I'll give you these or whatever, but seriously, we have 0 shows on our calendar. We have 0 recruits. We have 0 in sales. We have gone on 0 trips, and we can't sleep that night that we decide because we're so super excited. We're just over the moon excited about the possibilities. When we find ourselves in a place later, possibly, if ever, where we have 0 shows on our calendar, we have 0 shows booked, we have 0 in sales, then all of a sudden we're super depressed. And I'm like, the only difference in those 2 scenarios were the feelings that we had. And if you did it before, you can do it again. And the really good news is now you know what you're doing. So if you started before and you didn't do your 5 shows in 4 weeks or whatever we recommend, then do it this time because we know what we're talking about, So it's like when you restart the right way. And when you're recruiting, remember that most people in the world, like I really pay attention to this because Mary, like you said, I was a teacher. Now teachers in New York and New Jersey, they really can be paid pretty darn well. In Missouri, it's ridiculous, okay? And we're highly educated. In order to ever go up the pay raise level, whatever, we still have to get our master's. We had to get our plus 30, which is like getting a PhD or whatever. And we make very little money. And even highly educated people like that, or quite frankly, anybody that needs a side hustle, what are they generally going to go work for? Minimum wage, right? Okay. I don't know what your minimum wage is in New Jersey, but in Chicago, it's like $10. In Missouri, it's like $8. Okay. I'm assuming you guys are higher paid. So let's say 10. Okay. What is the average order in Park Lane? Not show, order.
Average order?
Based on the customer sale, what would you say the average order is in Park Lane? What's your average order in Park Lane? Basically.
800, I'm guessing.
$100, right? Yeah. I mean, we drive them up through with a 90, right? Okay, so this is a huge gift. So on our average order in Park Lane,
Mhm.
at 30% when we're fashion directors, we make $33.
Right.
That is for 3 to 4 hours of minimum wage. That's 3 to 4 hours of a teacher in the summer going and working at Limited or wherever at retail with them telling her what time she's going to work. Okay? 3 to 4 hours. My sister-in-law, I'm not bragging, but my brother does really, really well. And they live in this gorgeous home in Atlanta with golf, the golf club there. They have a golf cart. People drive around like idiots. Like, they have everything. The kids got the bouncy houses for their birthdays. It's so ridiculous. But that's how they live. When I showed her the other day how much money she would make if I took the orders that we took and put it in her name, she went, oh my God. Because she was ready to go substitute teach for $90 a day. Don't get too caught up or snobby in what we make. It's huge. And when you can say to people, you can go stand at Hallmark for 3 or 4 hours, or you can take one order, not a show, one order. You guys, this is the gift that we have to offer. And if we're not recruiting, we're just not thinking clearly. We're just not thinking clearly. But again, I'm going to go back to that scenario of being new when, we didn't know anything. But now maybe we've known disappointment. We've known every show doesn't hold. We know every person who says they want to do Park Lane doesn't do it. You have to let go of all of that, because for that single person like my sister-in-law that lives in that house, that $150 made a difference to her. So imagine what that's doing for your average human being. And that's what we are not sharing if we don't share Park Lane. Also, shame on us, we're not making. If we don't, bratty us wake up in a day and think we don't have a show, why in the world would we not at least try to collect a couple orders? Why that lady standing at Hallmark? It's like we could go out and collect a couple orders a day, or use our social media skills, and we would be ahead of the game of people that are working part-time jobs and minimum wage. And that's what even these huge bigwigs, their husbands can be doctors. If they have a side job because they want to get out of the house, that's what they're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're doing. So it's like, why would we not engage them in things like this, which really we're classy, we're stylish, we make our own hours. We're not closing out a store at midnight, so I want you to really be aware of that every single day when you wake up, of this gift that you have to share, especially during this time of year. So many people would love to be able to have a debt-free Christmas. They could be the richest people in the world, but they would still they're usually the smartest people in the world about money. The people that you are slow to approach, they're usually the smartest. They're usually the most brilliant about, wow, yeah, that's really good money for that. So those are the people, the very people that intimidate you the most are the ones that we should be reaching out to, because they see this as a gig. So I don't want to seem like I lack humility, but I really feel like this very first call, I just want you to really get your dream back. I could work anywhere. I could be anything. I really could. I chose to go into direct sales, and I make more money here than the President of the United States. I make more money here than most doctors with a beeper on their hip, paying off debt, and having to have malpractice insurance and have life or death situations. That's the career that you hold in your hands if you choose to really do it. And I mean part-time. That's what you have in your hands. So whenever you back up from yourself and don't get over yourself, that's what you need to remind yourself of, because this is big business, and we don't have people's lives in our hands. It's true. And I want this for you guys. I want this for people so badly, because I'm like, why are more people not getting this? Why are they not getting this? I feel like I'm pulling something over on someone, you know, but I want it so much for you guys. And it just comes from, you know, just getting out of your own way, getting some creative ideas, be willing to make some investments, you know, be willing to get over yourself. I guess sometimes, like, I have no pride as far as stuff like that goes. I laugh all the way to the bank, you know. You know, if I can't imagine myself in a job that it wasn't servitude. I can't imagine myself in a job where I didn't serve others. So, and people just can't even imagine when I'm serving them what I'm driving home and where I live and what I'm making. And that's okay with me, you know. So I just really want that for you guys, and you have this like right in your hands wherever you are, because Park Lane is so unfulfilled in so many areas. It is. It's not saturated anywhere. It's brand new everywhere, you know. So anyway, didn't mean to do that whole little lecture, but I found the need. What else?
I do have one thing to say. Can I say another thing?
Of course you can.
Being that you just said that Park Lane is not saturated everywhere, how do you get it as opposed to other companies that are saturated in this area, especially New York and New Jersey? How do we make it more saturated? Because when you do approach, even though it's fairly new, there's just so much out there. There is a lot of competition out there. So how do you break that barrier? How do you really?
That's really going to go back to exactly what I said before, which is the events, you know, the getting people to you. You know, people laugh, but I'm like, I said, I used to sell steel. And I'll say, do you know my dad, who was he was my biggest fan, but he never bought a single piece of steel from me. And people laugh, but the point I'm trying to prove is if your friends and family or your network isn't doing it, well, then you got to get into the network who needs it. My dad didn't need steel, you know? So you just have to really get into those networks of people that really do love jewelry, you know, and it starts with fashion. It's you know, we brainstorm hair salons, fashions, boutiques, people that love makeup, people that work and don't want to be bothered with having to, you know, whatever, all of those blogs that are out there, the bloggers and the people that are, you know, fashion stylists and all of that. Fashion is huge. And those are the groups that you want to get into. So there might be competition for people's time, but there's not necessarily a lot of competition in the fashion industry with being stylists. So you have to make it about an experience and where what you do is different than like a Pampered Chef show. And it is.
Right.
It is. So it's that brand. It's building that brand. It's that brand recognition.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Okay, Jackie, we're at an hour, but
No, I think that's really what we needed, and I think everybody's excited to.
we're so excited. I mean, they're gonna die when they're like, "Oh my gosh, yay! They get to share with us too." Because and every market is a little bit different. So I love that because we have people from around the world, and everything that you know, like, is happening in one market isn't necessarily happening in other, but like similar things. So we're really all about problem solving and coming up with ideas and putting, you know, you guys, Park Lane has been around for 63 years. They're very secure. They're cash rich. Jewelry's not going away. You know, sometimes we have to step back and the world has changed a little and we might need to change our approach. But truly the fact of the matter is that once we get our jewelry in front of people, they love it.
100%.
So they love it. And one thing that was very encouraging to me, and I'm going to use my sister-in-law again. I'm glad she's not on here. I heard for years from her how, well, people in my neighborhood, they would really only buy the wheel. Or people in my neighborhood, we're more into like skincare and Botox. Or people in my neighborhood, we're all stay-at-home moms, so we're mostly just walking around in our, you know, gym wear. She had her intro show today. She had 7 people there. was over $1,000 with free bookings.
Nice. Congratulations.
He was full of SH. But we had a shower. She was saying those things, you know, so I went down there. I did a sip and style. I invited her to bring a friend. That one friend went nuts over Park Lane, and the rest is history. So that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. Get it in front of people. And then I will teach you this. I mean, I know Jackie's really great at it too, but I am telling you, it's the what's the matter with me? This has happened to me in menopause. I lose words. You don't want to sell the product. You want to sell the benefits. So when you get in there and you start to do your little spiel, and you talk to all those objections before they even hold them. So my Tina, my sister, had already told me what objections might be by accident. I was ready for them. So when I did that whole fashion thing, I go, well, you guys are really fashionable. I mean, you're it. You know, we talk about Atlanta compared to the Midwest. Oh my gosh, you know? And you know, it's way more in fashion to have an abundance of fine fashion jewelry than real jewelry. And I'm nodding, and they're like, oh yes, you're absolutely right. You know, real jewelry will totally date you and age you, because unless you take it to get reset all the time, you're out of it. And they're like, oh, we know, you know. Then, like, you know, we sponsor Dancing with the Stars and blah, blah, blah. And I said, and this is true, I want you to know this, when I got into this business, I didn't know very much about jewelry. One of my greatest joys in my job was at my age that I had the courage to try something new, and I love learning. And I feel like it's been keeping me young because, you know, I'm learning more about the fashion industry all the time. And I'll say, but I'm going to tell you something with full authority. People who know jewelry love Park Lane jewelry. Love it. They will go on and on about the quality, the pricing, everything. They love it. So that was so encouraging to me from day one. And when you say that to a group of people and you're sincere, that's all you have to say, you know? And then when you start showing it to them and letting them feel it and touch it and put it on, and so I will give you all those words to say, but that's what you do. And don't go in with any preconceived. And I know the East Coast can be like that. They're just, you guys can be like that. People are a little bit snobbier. I'm from the East Coast. That's why I can say it.
Yeah.
And I thought, I moved here for my husband many years ago. And I always thought, oh, if I could have started this business with my family around, I would have done so much better, because I didn't have any family or friends. So I don't even know who I started with, but it had to be people I met other ways, you know. I always thought, oh, they would have all had shows for me. Well, they wouldn't have. I started my aunt up there, and they're like totally being jerks, you know, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, this is happening, and people tell me it happened, you know. So I've been learning with her too, the roundabout ways. So I get it, but you just have to get it in front of those right people, and it's the connectors. And everybody has connectors. See, I could talk for 3 hours, so you gotta let me go. But so before you get exhausted. But there are people in your life that are connectors. So I want you to make a list of those people. They're not necessarily the best customers. They very often are a pain in the butt. Those are the people that come in a little bit late. Everybody knows them. When they're going around and introducing themselves, they're saying, I met her from Donna. Oh yeah, that was Donna. You know, a lot of times, because they're such busybodies and their whole life is connecting, they don't buy a lot because they don't probably have a job, a lot of them, you know, but their whole thing is about connecting. They're just great connectors. When you use that gift and you go, I can think of my favorite, Lisa, and I'm like, Lisa, you are a connector. You have a gift for connecting people. And you say, I want to invite you to an event, and I'm going to challenge you to bring 3 or 4 people who I've never met, who have never seen Park Lane. And I go, I am so going to make it worth your while. And when you compliment them for that gift, they will step up. So you want to look for, who are my connectors in my life that I can encourage to bring different people to me, and it will amaze you what will start to happen. And then just spoil the pants off everybody, just little notes and things all the time to people that, just to keep you in their mind. Read books about great salespeople. That's what they do. It's about connections. Like, we got to work for this. It doesn't just come because our family and friends decide to have shows with us, but the rewards are seriously huge when you do that. Okay, so I have a challenge for you. It is it's 10 o'clock at your house. It's 10 o'clock on Tuesday night. So by Thursday morning, my email is marygraceplace@gmail.com, and I am challenging you guys to book a show. One show. And report it back to me.
That email again?
Mary Grace Place. It's easy to remember because it's my name, and then like, this is my place, marygraceplace@gmail.com.
Thank you.
Okay? And I will reward you. I will reward you because you're part of our group now. We want to welcome you. But this is where it starts. You lean in, you get started. Let's do this. And then again, I'll put up all our uniform things that we do. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. We have a consistency drawing, so we have like a mantra that everybody works every week. So even if you put in one order, I mean, it can be a $20 order, you go into the drawing and somebody wins a piece of jewelry every single week. So the idea is, like, I love the way a girl, she goes, my goal, because she's very part-time and she has a lot on her plate. And she said, Mary Grace, my goal is to get a paycheck every week. And she goes, it might be $5, but I'm going to get a paycheck every week. And I thought, that is brilliant because it keeps you engaged too, like, have I paid attention to my business this week? So we do that every single Thursday. I send out recognition every single Friday. We do a book for Want No More. Like, I do a webinar at the beginning. Please don't try to remember all this. I will send you a list. But one of the things you want to be thinking about that's made a huge difference in a lot of our lives is we have this ongoing, it's the honor system because I have no way to check you, but it's called Book 4. And the idea is that every single week, our goal is to book 4 shows. Now, remember how I talked earlier about how you can book them in January? That's okay. Doesn't mean 4 shows to be held this week. It means you're going to book 4 shows. So, Sunday to Sunday, you're like, did I book my 4 shows this week? And what it really does is it causes you to pay attention because we lose track of time and consistency. So if you're like, if I have 2 shows this week and I book 2 shows at each show, I'm done. If I have no shows this week, that forces you to practice all your other skills, like Facebook, phone calling, getting creative, whatever it takes because you have a goal, right? So it has been, I cannot begin to tell you the people that have really engaged and undertaken this, what a difference it has made in their business. It's huge. And then we just keep little running things on our calendar, like book 4 little lines, check, 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 check. And then for every week that you do that, you get a ticket. And then when I do the webinar, I pull a name and somebody wins like $100 cash or whatever. It's really mostly for us, but it has made a huge difference in people's businesses. So I wanted to make sure you knew about those 2 so that you're like, what is this all about? And then we'll engage you in a lot of the other things that we do too. Michelle Zito is doing a universal welcome. We do like a welcome every week to all of the new recruits. So that's really fun because many hands make light work. So we have a lot of different people taking turns and doing a lot of different things that all of you can like get in on, and that's going to help you train your people and have like some consistent things going on. So she's doing a welcome tomorrow night. We'll tag you in that. That makes them feel really good. I do, calls every week. We do lunch and learn. So all of this cool stuff that I'll do the whole schedule for you. And it's not as much as it sounds, though. When you get in consistent habits, you're like, okay. But just little things that you can send your new people onto, too, that are going to really help you train them and get them off to a good start. I love the fact that in our one Facebook page, a lot of you have been on it already. Somebody can ask a question from a show and they'll get answered within minutes. And that's so helpful. Or someone can ask a question at 3 in the morning and someone will answer them. Somebody can say, oh my gosh, just realized the Brecken bracelets are out. I need to. Someone in minutes will have that for you. And you guys will work out how to get it. So I think your life just got a lot easier because of the community too, that can help you solve some of your questions and problems and all of that good stuff. So we are so thrilled to have you. Thank you, Jackie, for the honor.
Thank you very much for the honor. What is the Facebook group, and so can we find it on our own? Do I put them in?
You guys can. Yeah, it's almost impossible for me to be. Everybody has to be my friend for me to add them. But
Okay.
any of you are allowed to add anybody. Get it? So Jackie, you're in the Park Lane Facebook St. Louis. I know Paula is. I know Tony Ann is. You can add anybody you want.
Okay.
I will make sure you're in my executive group. That's for divisions and above, and then you can add anybody you want. Okay.
Okay. But you have to be divisions and above to be in that.
In the executive one, yeah. There's just different. Yeah. So the Park Lane St. Louis, just because that's where we started. That's the basic one, and then we do really, big fun things like everybody welcome so and so, and we'll put their picture up and. They love that. They get 100 people saying, welcome to our group or whatever, so we'll do that. Somebody promotes a division, welcome to the executive page. Oh my gosh, just stuff like that. Oh, and that, you guys, like when you promote to area or division, you get a designer purse from me in addition to whatever else is going on in Park Lane. And when you promote to senior division or above, I buy your convention outfit that you walk stage in.
Nice.
So you either get to go shopping with me, or if you're long distance, we'll work it out. But the whole thing, dress, shoes, the whole bit, so that's super fun. So there's just really neat things that we do that you can engage people in and save yourself some money and stuff too. But it's fun.
Very nice. Well, that's awesome. We're very, very excited, and thank you so much for your time and all that your training, and we hope to do well.
Good. Let me hear from you. I'd love to hear from all of you. I'd love to get to know people. Okay. So message me. Let me know about yourself. I love people. I have a good memory for people. So I want to hear all about you. Okay.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you. We're going to post you in we have a group page called the region. We'll put you in that. It's called our Dream Makers.
Yes. Do.
Yeah. I'm going to post this in there so that anybody who wasn't on the call tonight will see this as well.
That's awesome, because all of my sub leaders have their own group, as do I, because I have like my central group, and like, so for example, today I did a training on Michelle Zito's group, and then we recorded it and shared it to the bigger group, and that's how you are more efficient, so yeah, anytime you're having like, we need a training on specifically this, I can come in and train your group, we can record it, share it with everybody else, stuff like that.
So that's what we have too. So perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you guys. Everybody, thank you for joining.
Bye, everybody. Sorry to keep you so long. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Have a good night. Have a good week. Bye-bye.
Now you have to go to bed with all these ideas. Isn't that mean? You're not going to sleep. But make a list of what you're going to do tomorrow. It makes all the difference in the world. You'll wake up with your feet like running. So, good night.
Good night. Thank you so
Good
much.
night.
Thank you.
Good night, Jackie. Good night, Margaret. Good night, all.
Good night, guys. Good night, everybody.
Good night.